Because since July, I mean, you've probably done 10,000 interviews at this point. What has been the question of choice that is just the one you've answered the most at this point?
What did it feel like to knock out Anderson Silva? Is the number one question. Every time I answer it a little differently because I mean it's just surreal. It's hard to really put words to it.
Is it a noticeable increase from just the build up to that fight versus after the fact of the media obligations being flown everywhere around? As it was kind of preparing for that fight and all the media obligations to kind of get you ready for what all of this is now entailing leading up?
Just getting slowly built in the UFC, you kind of get the experience of media. But it's definitely a big step up after beating Anderson. Before the fight, like the week before the fight, and some of the media stuff I did before was pretty hectic. But afterwards, I think I broke the UFC record. The PR guy said 35 interviews in one day, legit interviews in New York City. So very proud of that. And can't be beat.
So Chris, after the fight with Anderson, a lot of people didn't really seem to give you a lot of credit for it. They seemed to more that Anderson was clowning and acting stupid and got caught. Do you feel like that robbed you of some of the sweetness of the victory of what it should feel like to beat Anderson Silva?
No, because I get to have a second fight with him, and I get to even get more love after that. So it's all good. It'll be a good build up for the next fight. If I was just to knock him out, and everybody thought I deserved it, and there was no chance of him beating me, there would be no rematch. So I'm excited that there's a lot of doubters out there. It motivates me. I expected that before I even got in the cage with him. The first time I believed I was going to beat him, and I believe we're going to have a rematch. And so I anticipated that. As soon as I got done fighting him, right away I said we have to have a rematch. But I wanted that. This is what I wanted. I knew what everybody was going to be saying. So it's all good.
Is your mentality different as a champion than it was as a challenger? Like, are you still as hungry as you were before?
Yeah, man. Because there's all those doubters out there right now that think that the serious Silva wasn't there. Usually, I mean. They just think they forget that that's how he fights. He puts his hands down. He tries to get into people's heads. He got caught, and now he wasn't trying. So there's a lot of doubters out there I have to prove wrong.
Being up here just in the days leading up to 165, a former teammate of yours, Costa Philippou, on the card. Are things still cool with you two? Are you guys friends outside of the gym rather than just training partners?
Yeah, no drama. We're not like close friends or anything like that. We're not calling and texting each other every day, but we're cool. No beef at all.
You think you deserve a rematch after UFC 168, depending on whether the result?
I thought you were about to hit me with the fan question, like after you lose this next fight, do you deserve a rematch?
Let's say you think you deserve a rematch, just like how Anderson deserved the rematch.
I'm not even thinking like that. I'm winning this next fight. There's not going to be another rematch. That's it.
Can you talk about your game plan?
My game plan is going to be, similar to the last one. Work hard every single day in the room and bring that into the cage and work as hard as I can. Then the rest is up to God's plan. And all I have the power to do is try as hard as I can, walk forward, put pressure on, and mix it up as much as I can. And have no regrets. If I feel something, I'm going for it. Just like in the first fight, I was on top. It would have been easy. I could have kept position, but I felt the submission I went for was a risky submission, but if I didn't go for that, I could have been looking back and thinking, damn, if I would have went for that, I could have submitted him. So I'm leaving no regrets. Every time I fight, I'm going for it, and that's it.
What do you expect out of him? You mentioned that people forgot that, hey, that's how he fights with his hands down, but after he got blasted, you think he's going to change up?
I think the only reason he wouldn't put his hands down and do what he usually does is because he knows that if he does get knocked out again, the way he did the last time, people are going to be like, are you kidding me? So I think almost just the fans will push him not to do that, but I'm not surprised if he does that. That's part of his game. You have to realize when his hands are down, it helps him a little bit with takedown defense. It's hard to hit your doubles and singles. So there's a lot to that, So
Psychologically, do you think it's easier, like now that you've seen, like, hey, you put a left hand on his jaw, he'll go down, and do you feel like that makes it easier on you going into it?
Yeah, I don't know. He knows now he has to respect my hands. He paid the ultimate price for it with his consciousness. Joe Rogan said it's a good line, but. So yeah, there's more things that he's gonna have to worry about in this fight that maybe he didn't respect me enough in the last one. So I'm excited to go out there and do it.
Now, when Anderson was champion, everyone was talking about Anderson super fights. You're the champion now. You are friends with George. What do you think of John Jones? Are you friends with him? Because you're from Jersey, he's from New York, or
I'm not from. Hang on, whoa! Everybody in here, can we get the news that I'm from New York, not Jersey, please? Spread the news. I'm not from Jersey. We're both from New York. John Jones is from upstate New York. I'm from Long Island. Yeah, listen, I want to fight, the best guys in the world. I want to have the biggest challenges possible. I want to
People say he's the best guy in the world right now.
Well, I got to fight Anderson Silva December 28th. After that fight, it's whatever the UFC wants, what the fans want to see. I want the biggest challenges. So whoever the biggest challenge at the time is, and who the UFC sees as the biggest challenge for me, that's what I want to do.
Is your dad going to corner you again, or is it too early to have you made those decisions?
That's actually still up in the air. I'm not 100% sure. Just because Matt Serra was sick last time, he's not going to be sick this time. Matt Serra is definitely going to be there, so we got to figure out something. We'll figure out something.
Not to
I'm not
look
sure.
past Anderson or anything, but when you look at the middleweight division, who are some of the other deserving contenders you could see yourself facing in the future?
There's a lot of good guys. Belfort, Jacare, throw me some names. I'm not Fizbang, Munoz, every one of them. Yeah, they're all good.
Do you find some of the people even closest to you were surprised that you walked back in the door with that belt?
Nah, not really. Everyone that's been around me in the gym who's seen me work, and that's what I feed off. They have the utmost confidence in me. So that kind of gives me the confidence I have. I have great people around me, and I go in the room and work hard every day. I try not to lose any day, no matter what type of practice it is, and eventually, it's paid off.
Chris, when Anderson lost, he said it almost was like he was happy, or not happy, but he kept saying, I'm tired of holding the belt. Did you buy that, or was he just kind of?
I think there's a lot of things Anderson says in interviews where he's just like, I don't take what he says in interviews for full worth. I'm not reading into anything. I think that's why a lot of guys he's fought in the past, some of them might have lost because he tries to get in their head psychologically before the fight even starts, even through interviews. I don't really care what he says, especially in the after-fight interviews and stuff like that. He just got knocked out for the first time in his life. He just lost for the first time in the UFC. He's not thinking straight at that time, and he's getting asked all these questions. So I'm not. When he was saying there's not going to be a rematch and this and that, I knew there was going to be a rematch right away.
Can you talk about that awkward weigh-in kiss?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. We both just have our hands down, the stare down, so there was no fist up, which kind of gives you that space. And we're both around the same height. I went in. He was like, you're not going to come in on me. He came a little closer. Next thing I know it, our lips touched for a second. No one puckered, so it doesn't.
You see some of the internet pictures with the notebook and everything else?
They got some good stuff out there. I appreciate it all.
How do you adjust your stare downs now in the future?
I don't want to mess up.
Lean, kind of
Yeah, and I just look down. But well, we'll see. I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Any chance it gets to second base the next time?
I tried to. He backed up. Dana stopped it. But.
Has there been a direct change since winning the title when it comes to media interviews that we've got a bit of a moratorium now on introducing as Chris Weidman? When you hear them pronounce your name like that, it's like, it's one of these interviews.
You know what?
Seems like we hear that a lot less now.
It's hard for me. It used to bother me. I used to, everyone. I wanted, even since I was a little kid, someone would say Weidman. My teacher would call me Weidman. I'd be like, no, it's Weidman. But then I've actually found out recently, like my name actually might be pronounced Weidman, because of this whole, and they took off the N and then they changed the E and the I, and it used to be pronounced Weidman before they did all these name changes, but now it's supposed to be pronounced Weidman. So I'm a little confused about my name. I don't know what I'm supposed to be called. Yeah, I'm a little bit more forgiving. You call me Weidman, I'm like, whatever.
Some guys got it in easy, like Silva and Jones, right?
Hang on, let's go back. I don't like getting, being said I'm from Jersey, though. I'm very prideful of being from New York, so just so you know about that.
Fair enough.
But what were you saying?
Well, some people got it easy, like Silva and Jones. Nice names that are easy to pronounce
Oh,
and easy
yeah.
to remember.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Weidman's not that hard. Weidman. Like a wide man.
Fair enough. So do you think that you're a well-spoken guy, you're hardworking and humble. Do you think that makes you a marketable star for the UFC, or do you think you're going to draw like Anderson did?
Who knows, man? My goal is to go out there and win every single fight, and good things are going to happen with that. You have to keep. That's just my ultimate goal every time. Is I can't lose focus at what really is important. People aren't going to want to talk to a loser. That's just the way the world works. They want to be around winners. They want to ask questions to winners, and that's who people want to be marketed with. So. I have to just keep winning. That's my goal, and I'm sure good things will happen with that.
Would you embrace that role, though? Would you embrace that attention? I mean, you already have a lot of it, but would you embrace if it got more and more and more to be the poster boy almost?
Oh yeah, of course. Because I want to be known as one of the greatest of all time. I want to win as many championships as I possibly can and shock the world as many times as I can. And I know what type of publicity will come with that, and I'm okay with that because that's my goal.
Can you talk about tonight's main event and what kind of fight you expect tonight?
I'm excited for this fight. This could be a really, I feel like a lot of people are kind of writing off Gustafsson, but if he goes in there with confidence, if he truly is confident he's going to win this fight, we got a really good fight on our hands because I think his stand-up is better. I think he's more experienced stand-up wise. He has great cardio. He's a big dude. John Jones is very deceptive though. He's going to get him to feel like he's going to strike with him, and next thing you know, he's got him on his back and he's throwing elbows. So there's a lot of different dynamics this fight could go in, and I'm excited to check it out.